Hey everybody, in this video we're going to go over clothing and drawing clothing using charcoal and the subtractive method. As with anything, the most important thing I want to do is focus on proportions and laying out my shapes accurately. I'm using a number 5 Nero pencil made by Color at this stage to just kind of lay in some of my shapes. I'm going to be applying charcoal dust on top of these shapes, so I don't want to spend too much time refining them. I just want my drawing there so that when I place the charcoal dust on top, the drawing doesn't get lost. So it's going to be really quickly just kind of focusing on the big value shapes, landmarks, things like that. To make charcoal dust, I'm going to point my X-Acto blade up and drag it downward across the surface of the charcoal stick. I'm going to go across the charcoal stick and rotate it as I'm doing it so that it doesn't get off-centered. And what I want to do is really kind of reflect on not pushing too hard as I'm drawing the X-Acto blade down so that it just pulls off the top of the charcoal, makes a really fine dust. I'm going to fold a piece of paper towel up with a little grip on the top of it, flatten out the bottom of it, dip it into the charcoal dust, rub it around, make sure to even it out at the base of that pad. So I take that pad and I kind of rub off the excess, and then I take it and I place just the mist of the charcoal dust on top of my drawing really lightly, even though it looks like it's pretty aggressive. It's actually really light. And then I'm going to go in and reapply all my values, now going in with vine charcoal to kind of reestablish all my darkest darks. And I do this fairly quick again. I'm not too interested in making sure that it's exact. What I really want to do is just get value to a place where I feel like it's accurately reflecting the value range that I want to depict. I'm going to throw another coat of value on top, kind of blend the two together. I'm looking at a green jacket, which I will throw up here so you can kind of see the image that I'm referencing. So it needs to be kind of like a mid-tone gray. Once I've got the value close, I will take my kneaded eraser and start to erase out those lights, really begin to establish my lightest lights in relationship to those darkest darks. I want to really push those shapes out and separate them so that the white gives me a better value relationship to the green that I'm converting to gray in the drawing, just so I can kind of see what those shapes are doing, also how the folds are going to interact with those shapes. So it's really important to not only be drawing what's inside the form, but also to be thinking about what's happening in the background as well. Coming back in with a darker charcoal now, actually a charcoal pencil. I'm going to start with a Ritmo HB pencil, go in and lay in those values. And then as you can see, the edge on the bottom is a really strong line. The edge on the top is really soft. So I'm going to repeat this same idea as I move through the folds because the light's coming from the same direction, obviously. So I want to make sure that all the folds have this really hard lower edge, and as it curves around the top of the form, then it tends to soften out a little bit. I'm using a piece of paper towel that I've wrapped up into a stump, along with my cotton swabs. I'm taking that to kind of blend the two values together with the vine charcoal underneath and the charcoal that I added on top. Coming back in with my pencil, refining some of those edges. And then making sure that that first value that I put down is exactly the level of black that I want to make for the rest of my drawing. At this stage, I want to just lay in the rest of my values, really make sure that the hoodie shape feels rounded off. So I'm using a lot of different pencils to kind of bring in those midtones, including the Nero pencils to use to kind of make those grays. And then I'm really getting my shadow shapes in place. Once they're kind of developed at a point where I think they read really well, I'll go in with my kneaded eraser, really carefully erase out some of the lighter lights. Since it is a green jacket, the transitions are really subtle, so I have to be really careful with it. And then I'll use any materials that I have. Sometimes it's a paper towel, sometimes it's a cotton swab, sometimes it's a pencil, just to kind of smooth things out. I hope you found this video helpful. Alright, good luck.